Your host, the multi-award-winning Lance-tastic, Lance DePoyle.
That's right, you're watching Let's TV, coming to you live from Wadawurrung country, here in Ballarat, the resting place of Bunjil the Eagle. Welcome to the show. If you have tuned in for Bent TV, you're a little bit early, but stick around, we're just as queer. Get a drink, come on, sit down. We love having you visit us here in Ballarat from wherever you might be. Next week we will be having a studio audience. If you'd like to be in that studio audience, check out the Lance TV website tomorrow from noon, and you'll be able to get yourself some tickets to come and see next week's guest, which is Dr. Catherine Barrett. It's a special event that we've got set aside for Pride Month, and we're really looking forward to having Dr. Catherine in the studio with us. Now, I usually spend this moment to talk about something of common interest, something. And as I spoke to the wonderful people in the control room tonight, they told me that J.K. Rowling is losing her little mind over all sorts of things that are not going her way when it goes to gender identity, and in particular, you know, trans women are real women, and we all know that, except J.K. Rowling. So I just wanted to sort of stir the pot on that. If you are actually watching us from having an amazing day at the Better Together conference down in Geelong, welcome to the show. We enjoy having you, and we hope that you had a great day. We have heard all sorts of wonderful reports of the dynamics, the workshops and the people who have made up the first day, well, I think it's technically the second day, but the first day of the conference. So hello to you as well. And as you can tell, I've had a haircut. I'm still rocking the mullet. Please, if you're watching us on Facebook at Lance TV Ballarat, drop it in the thread. Let us know, how much longer do you think I should keep this mullet for? Do you think I should keep it, or do you think I should consider getting it cut for some reason? Let us know. I'd really like to know. And I bet you would like to know who our special guest is tonight. Well, we are going to bring them out. Without further ado, please put your hands together for the one, the only, Letitia Yates. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good, thank you.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
Pull up a seat. How was your day?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, just a bit of stress, but now I'm here.
Fantastic. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You are known to many here in Ballarat as being an emerging artist. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we've got Breezy on the set here. So for those of you who haven't met Breezy before, here's Breezy, and I'm going to put Breezy in your hands for a sec, and you're going to tell us about Breezy. How do we know about Breezy?
Well, I made Breezy. I made them and was selling it, and Lance here just saw it and bought it.
Yeah.
And now Breezy just hangs around.
Does. Breezy called to me and said, you have to take me home, Lancey, because Breezy was with a friend as part of an exhibition recently.
Spud was the other one.
Yeah.
Spud went to a different home.
Oh, good. Yeah, Spud was like, I don't like you, Lancey. But Breezy was like, bring it on, Lancey, bring it on. Mm-hmm. Yay. Should we put Breezy back with him?
Yep.
What gender is Breezy? What would Breezy's pronouns be?
Probably they, them.
Amazing.
Or he, him.
Okay.
One of those two.
Of course.
Or both.
Everything all at once. Mm-hmm. I know. Hey, we're going to go through our first segment, which you know about because you've been on this particular segment a couple of times now. The segment is the Lance TV Artist Corner. Dr. Sophie has been having a chat with the ever lovely and the very creative Saša Čuha.
My name is Saša Čuha. I'm a professional artist. I work in a number of mediums, everything from music to acting to visual arts, and I've recently been working as a production designer and art director on film and television projects. As an art director, my job generally involves creating a visual language for the film in order to tell story behind the story, if that makes any sort of sense. And a lot of that comes down to set design, prop acquisition and design and manufacture, as well as character designs. I never aimed to become a production designer, but I did some work for the web series Dragon Force X, and it just the work from there just kind of snowballed. Recently, I've worked on 2 feature films. One film called Sleeping Beauties, which was shot in 2019, and in 2020, I've worked on My Cherry Pie, which is another independent horror film. It's more something that I kind of fell into, but it is a rewarding and interesting career path. I've just recently come off working on a science fiction horror short called Closed Circuit, and last year I was fortunate enough to work with the same production team and crew on another film, also science fiction horror, entitled Outer Reaches. Musically speaking, my favorite project to date has been Svetozar, which is a very interesting project. See, my background is Serbian, and in the Serbian culture we have a long tradition of epic poetry where the performer will sit in front of a group of people and perform while playing a one-stringed instrument called the gusle. And I actually happen to have one right here. So this is a gusle, and I managed to find it after one in this country after a long search to acquire one. For my performance, I attached a pickup to this and ran it through effects pedals and things to support my original epic poem that I composed. The performance goes for roughly about an hour, and it's probably my favorite piece that I've composed to date.
Serbian mythology is very dark. Like, generally our folklore is very much on the dark side. We have a lot of, stories about vampires and the hungry dead and ghosts and spirits and all.
I am mostly interested in working with non-traditional sounds or using traditional instruments in non-traditional ways. So a lot of what I tend to do is to find ways of using electric guitars that aren't standard. And I have also developed my own instrument for an upcoming concert. In which I'll be live scoring Nosferatu as part of Goldfield's Gothic 2024. I also play a number of relatively unknown to the Western world musical instruments, including ethnographic stringed instruments like the Serbian gusle. They're all my favorite projects when I'm working on them. I've enjoyed working on a lot of different pieces. I had a great time working on Outer Reaches, which was like hard sci-fi set in the future sort of project. I got to design spaceships and design helmets and outfits and really odd futuristic bits of tech. So coming up in August, I have 2 concerts, both at the Goldfields Gothic Festival of Dark Ideas. I'll be performing Nosferatu. I'll be performing on this, the majority of the score, as well as a performance of Svetozar. So I'm going to be having a lot of fun.
We saw them dart like fireflies. We saw them dance.
I'd say keep on doing what you're doing. If you think your ideas are too weird, they're probably not weird enough. The world needs more strangeness, more beauty, more wonder, and whatever you're working on, I think that the world probably needs to see it in some form or another.
Hello, Facebook. Somebody turn the lights out just for a moment, but we're back again. Tony Louise is in the thread,
Yay.
and Tony has said, forever. Does that mean anything? I can't remember what point that might have came in.
I think it was about your mullet.
The mullet, yeah, keeping it. I think you're right. So it's only new. No.
Yeah.
Amazing. If you've got any comments or anything you'd like me to pass on to Letitia, pop it in the thread, and I will be more than happy to ask. And yeah, just saying.
Yeah. Ask me stuff.
There you go.
Or say hello or other things.
Yeah. Let us know you're out there watching the show. I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you happen to be Letitia's parents, that'd be great too. So far so good. Amazing. He was quite an interesting artist with all the stringed instruments.
Yeah. It sounded cool.
Yeah. Spooky. Do you like spooky sounds?
Yeah.
Like spooky music sounds?
Yeah. I like all sorts of music, except country.
Ah, friend. Yeah, I'm not a big country fan either. Although, have you heard any of Beyonce's latest album?
I have heard her version of Jolene.
What did you think?
Pretty interesting.
That's a nice way to put it. Yeah, I'm a bit old school. It was just, I understand the overlay, but yeah, it's kind of like,
Well, not Dolly Parton likes it, so that's all that matters, in my opinion.
well, and that's a fair call too. Yeah, I mean, Dolly wrote it, so if
Yeah.
Dolly's put a stamp of approval on it, yeah. Do you listen to Dolly Parton?
I only really know Jolene.
Yeah, right. So that's the closest
Yeah.
you've got to country music.
Well, there's also
Welcome back. You're watching Let's TV. I'm Let's DeBoyle, and I'm here with the very lovely Letitia Yates.
hello.
There you go. Amazing. Letitia, we are now at the point where we're going to start the interview.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. Now, Letitia, as you know, on the show, when our very first question to every guest we've ever had on the show, where were you born?
I was born in Daylesford, 4th of February 2000, a couple of days after my dad's birthday.
Wow.
So I was a late birthday present.
Or early for the following year.
Or that.
Yeah. And you've got your Aquarius symbol on your top too.
Yep.
Very cool. I'm an Aquarian.
Ooh.
I know. We're twins. So, born in Daylesford.
Yep.
And as we said at the top of the show, you are a creative human being. I'm really interested to know, what is your very first memory of being creative?
My first memory was drawing Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. And I know I really liked it a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you were saying before the show that you were saying that your dad still has the drawing of Tigger somewhere.
As far as I'm aware of, I remember him telling me once that he still has it somewhere.
Amazing. That's great. At 3 years old, you were diagnosed with autism.
Yes, I was.
Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
So 2.5 years, Mom took me somewhere. I can't remember the name of the thing. And they said, she's most likely autistic. Then about 3 years old, I got the official diagnosis. And because I was labeled as having severe autism, as well as the fact that I was non-speaking at that point in time, the doctors basically told Mom not to have no expectations on me, so not in life and that in general.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And, I mean, you were there, but you were 2.5. Was
3.
3. Was that a doctor in Melbourne? Do you think? Was it in the Big Smoke?
I didn't ask Mum that.
Yeah, okay. That's a big thing to say to somebody about their child. And sitting here with you now, it's like, what were they talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, if the doctors are still alive, fuck you for telling Mum that.
And there you have it, Doctor. You were wrong. And you've been told. Now, so born and raised a little bit in Daylesford.
Yep.
You diagnosed with autism and you went to a high school that was a specialist school.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
I went to Ballarat Specialist School for my entire school year. Most of it. But I won't get into that because it will get too confusing. So it was a school for students with disabilities, more so intellectual disabilities, but there was plenty of physical and neurological disabilities too, along with intellectual. Yeah.
Amazing. Sorry, I cut you off then.
That's all right.
With the specialist school as well, how do you progress through? Like, is it like you go there and it's like year 7, year 8, year 9? Do you progress that way? Or?
No, it was more of age groups. So one age group will be considered the junior classes. So there'll be different classes that's labeled as the junior class. Then you have the middle class. So from, I think, 10 or 11 to about 14. And then you got your seniors from 15 or so to 18. And then that's where you graduate at 18.
Amazing. I didn't know that about special schools.
Yeah. Well, there was also a lot I didn't know about high schools and some stuff I got jealous about.
Yeah, stuff like what?
Dissecting frogs.
Yeah, okay. That's so you though, right?
Yeah.
What was your favourite subject at school though?
Art and music.
Yeah, right. What was it? Do you play an instrument?
No. But I was in an iPad band.
Tell me about the iPad band.
So basically, instead of playing actual instruments, we had an app on our iPad called GarageBand, and we'll play instruments that way.
Nice.
So we'll press buttons as a way to play music on that. So I used to be the piano one, and then once one of our seniors left, I took over singing as well. So multitask.
Yeah, right. And do you enjoy singing?
Yeah. I now sing just to help calm myself down though.
Yeah, right.
And stick more to art. Yeah.
Very cool. We might go for a short break.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
What we'll do, we'll go for a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to learn more about Letitia Yates right after this. Hi, Facebook. There are a regular swathe of messages in Facebook land for you. Tony Louise, Letitia is a superstar.
Thank you, Tony.
Deirdre Buge.
She's my auntie.
Hello, Auntie Deirdre. Not a parent, but an auntie. Does that count?
Yes.
Beck Robson, love watching this.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you know Beck?
Yeah, she's my dad's friend.
Hi from Dad, Beck, Lachlan. Beck Robertson, 9 to 5. Still got it. Deirdre says, they were so wrong.
Yep.
Beck says, so damn proud, love you.
Thank you.
Karen Kaz Q.
That's Mum.
Hey! Proved the doctor's wrong. Big giant love heart. So proud of how far you've come. Kiss, kiss.
Thank you, Mum.
Don't ask Tish about spiders. What's that all about?
I'm scared of spiders.
All right, then that was the question. Beck says, your mum has been amazing. Yeah?
Yeah.
Claire Blake, who works over at the Federation Uni Arts part, just a big red love heart.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deirdre, hello, you were doing amazing.
Thank you.
Dad and Beck love you, that's from Beck. Emily Toth.
Yay.
Tish, you're amazing, so proud of you.
Thank you, Emily.
Who's Emily Toth?
She's one of my workmates at my workplace.
Hey, there you go. Oh, that's really nice. And Karen's your mum.
Yes.
Oh, good on you, mum. Well done for tuning in. Good to see you and good to see you seeing us.
She's a nice Karen.
She's a nice Karen as opposed to the awful American Karens.
Yeah.
Keep it coming in and we will talk about it in the Facebook breaks. So if you're watching us on a different page and you want to leave a message, welcome back. You're watching Lance TV. I am Let's Boyle and we are mid-interview with the very lovely Letitia Yates.
Hello.
There you go. How have you been enjoying the interview so far?
Good, thank you.
Oh, cool. In the first part of the interview, we talked a little bit about your autism.
Yep.
Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what autism spectrum disorder is?
So I guess in a nutshell sort of thing, it's kind of how your brain is wired a bit differently. So it can affect maybe how you perceive stuff in the world, your sensory stuff, your thought process and that. Yeah, and you might need a bit of extra support and that. Yeah.
Amazing. Just before we were live tonight, the question came forward, with autism, what is your superpower within that?
My special interest is, so a lot of autistic people have something called special interests. So they're, sorry.
That's okay.
So special interests are kind of like hyperfixations, but bigger in a way. And many autistic people can have just one or many, and you basically know quite a lot of stuff about things, whether it's the stereotypical trains to dinosaurs, as well as shows and movies and that. Even some more obscure stuff, like maybe certain animals, dolls, maybe even Coca-Cola, in a way. So just if there's a thing that exists, there's probably someone with autism having a special interest in that.
And what might your special interest be?
Anime.
Oh, and what's anime?
Japanese animation.
Japanese animation.
Yeah.
Oh, like Aeon Flux. Or what's the one? What is the anime that you like?
I like Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. They're my favorites. But I also like a lot of other ones like Bongo Stray Dogs, as well as Astro Boy. That was my first anime that got me into anime. Yeah, as well as Sailor Moon, Berserk. Let's see. Yeah, a couple of old ones and newer ones.
Amazing. And you were just at Comic-Con this
Yes.
weekend too. Tell us about the highlight of Comic-Con for you.
I got to meet one of the English voice actors, Brian Peacock, who voiced my favorite character, Ryosuke Atagawa from Bongo Stray Dogs, as well as also voicing Monokuma from the Danganronpa game series.
Amazing, amazing. And as I said to you when I first saw you tonight, it was like that photo of you with the autograph. You were lit up like a New Year's Eve party. You had the best smiley face.
Yeah.
With Comic-Con too, there's a whole bunch of, I mean, I've never been, so I'm quite happy to be educated.
Yep.
But is it that there's just a whole bunch of displays and stalls and things you can buy, and it's all to do with different sorts of comics, or is it all Japanese?
It's more pop culture in general, so a lot of comics, TV shows, movies, anime, games, all sorts that's related to pop culture. So one story you might find some anime stuff, the next you'll find one about the latest movie, or the current popular web series on YouTube that you can watch for free, or yeah, even some music from time to time too.
Amazing. With anime, like, how did you discover it?
I first discovered it in school. Well, I learned what anime was at school. Technically, I already knew anime younger, thanks to Sailor Moon and Hamtaro. But I first properly learned what anime was as a whole in school. And we watched Astro Boy as one of our class sessions. And that's kind of how I fell in love with it. Mom even got me the whole Astro Boy episodes on DVD for me for Christmas that same year. And that kind of what started my special interest in anime.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Do you draw anime yourself?
Kind of, with my original character Snorri. But other than that, not that much. I kind of like more watching than properly drawing.
Yeah, right.
Because they can have pretty crazy styles, especially with main characters, because a lot of them we have funky hairstyles, while everyone else has pretty genetic ones. Like, you could play a game of who's the main character of this anime, and it'll always usually, half the time it will be the one character with the same hairstyle and pink or blue hair.
Ah, all right. So they go and dye their hair to look a bit sort of different, or?
Either that or it's the person where they were born with the hair.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah. Maybe it's kind of like, you know, those mood rings. Maybe like when they're happy, their hair goes pink. When they're not so happy, it goes black.
I haven't seen that yet, but it would be cool if they... But that could be an idea for someone.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. So is anime your only
Special interest.
special interest?
No, I have a few others too.
Go on, tell us.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I really like my music, especially heavy metal.
No, really?
Yep.
Ah, look at you. Who's your favourite heavy metal band?
I like Disturbed a lot. I also like Nightwish, which is a symphonic metal band. So more of a mix of heavy metal and occidental music.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also kawaii metal, which in that my favorite is baby metal. So basically think Japanese pop idols and metal mixing together. So you got these kid idol girls dancing and singing in cute voices to heavy metal and that.
Isn't there a big famous Japanese band and they have a couple of girls who almost look like they're anime, and there's this white guy who's kind of really quiet?
Oh, is that Ladybeard?
Maybe it's Ladybeard.
Yeah, I like Ladybeard. He's really cool. And he does collab with a few idols too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Look at me pretending I know. That's amazing. You are, just change the subject now.
Yep.
You are quite the disability advocate as well. You were telling me the percentage or the number of people in Australia who live with autism?
Yeah. So depending on your sources, it can range from 1 in 70 to 1 in 100 people in Australia who are autistic. And that's only really counting those who have an official diagnosis. It could be even higher because many don't have diagnosis due to obstacles like cost and that, because it can be in the thousands for adults.
Yeah, right.
And it's out of pocket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just had a friend of mine recently just get their autism diagnosis, and they're a person who's kind of in their like 40s, and they were like, whew, like I know what's happening now, it's great, yeah?
Would they like a congrats on a diagnosis print?
I don't know, I could ask them.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
give them a print of congrats on your diagnosis.
That'd be so cool. Do you think we should surprise them, or do you think we should ask them first?
Depends if they're watching this or not.
Wow, that's a fair call as well. I don't know if they are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We need to go for another short break.
Yep.
But don't go anywhere because we've got more to talk about.
Yep.
Because I'm really interested to know about your arts practice. All right, cool. When we come back from this break, we will have some more of the very lovely Letitia Yates right after this. We go. Bronwyn Blakelock is in the thread. Hello, Bronwyn. So Bronwyn's connected with the Ballarat Arts Foundation.
Ooh.
And Bronwyn's saying, high fives, bang. I grew up on Astro Boy.
Ooh, awesome.
What was it for you? What was about Astro Boy? Because he used to fly around, didn't he?
Yeah.
And have the pointy helmet and the black boots.
Red boots.
Red boots, was it? Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen. And yeah, Bronwyn's just in the thread again, another like boink, like that. Your mum's saying when Letitia was diagnosed, it was thought to be 1 in 500 with autism.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers have grown with increased awareness and acceptance.
Yep, that's definitely true.
And it is a thing, I think, as society sort of matures, I guess, and has a better understanding on the world around them and the people in it, that people like yourself living with autism can kind of, you know, be part of the world as well, instead of kind of being pushed away all the time. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been in a mental asylum if they still existed, instead of getting the support I need to be where I am today.
And living life.
Yeah.
Because you do that very well, don't you?
Usually.
Look at you. Yeah, usually. Yeah. Bronwyn's saying, and groovy music. So Bronwyn's into the heavy metal as well.
Yay.
Things you learn about people. No, fantastic. You surprised me. You've been surprising me all night. You know, it's. I think this is the first time that you and I have really got to sit together and really talk to each other as people.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen each other and sort of go, oh, hi, how you going?
Yeah.
But this is really the first time we've had a big chat. So you've really surprised me on a number of fronts. The heavy metals one, and the to the doctor was the other.
Yeah, people get surprised when I swear. They don't expect it.
Well, isn't that great though? It's kind of like, and gotcha.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome, you're watching Let's TV. I'm still Leinster Boyle, and we're here still with Letitia Yates.
Hello.
There we go. Now, Letitia, I didn't turn my questions over. Excuse me. Let's talk about your arts practice.
Yep.
You've had a bit of a lifelong journey with art, like from Tigger when you were a little tacker to today. In 2022, just after COVID, you started to get serious about your arts practice. Talk to us about it.
Yep. So I was... Sorry.
That's okay.
Pretty sure it's 2022, at least. I, one day, because I met Holly in between some of the lockdowns and that.
And is that Holly from TBH?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hollywood. And one day, because we became friends and that, since I first met her, one day we had a discussion about how donut therapy should exist, because eating donuts make people happy, except for those who have allergies or don't like donuts. So one day after that, I just came up with the concept of painting donuts. That way, if people see the donuts, it will make people happy that way. And that's how the donut therapies came to be.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because you are like your donuts, there's no two are the same. They're individual and they just bring love. Yeah?
Yeah.
And do you think that your donuts, because of the diversity of donuts, do you think that's reflective of the diversity of people just living on the planet?
That's definitely one way you can see it, because there's all sorts of different donuts, both good and bad, including donuts in the shape of pretzels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Had one at Comic-Con.
How yummy was it?
Pretty good.
All right. Anyway, back to the donut painting.
Sorry.
I've seen your work close up, and your technique is actually quite amazing. What medium are you working in?
Acrylic, because it's the best one for me, because I don't have the patience for oil, and I don't like the free-flowing of watercolor. So acrylic works best for me, both in control as well as the quick drying.
Yeah, amazing. Because like when I look at your paintings, like they're complete, like flat. Like there's no kind of ridges or excess paint anywhere. It's just like it could be a screen print. How long did it take you to get to that point?
It took me a fair while. Occasionally I still struggle a bit, but yeah, took me a fair bit, but I guess because I draw a lot as a kid and teen, then COVID, because I couldn't work with COVID, that kind of helped too with my control and that. So I was able to get the hang of paint a bit easier compared to other people as well.
Amazing, yeah. The next time that there's an exhibition, expect me to buy one of your paintings.
Yes, please.
Expect it.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm looking and I'm just waiting for one, like with Breezy, I'm waiting for one just to go, Lancey, take me home. So one will, but I just don't know when.
Yep.
But I'll know it. From the donut painting, we spoke about Breezy before. You're expanding your work into working with fabrics.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
So originally I picked up sewing during COVID just to decorate my vest. I had a different vest that got too old. Then I bought this vest and then I put patches on it. Then I kind of realized I bought way too much fabric and I'm never gonna use all of it. So I kind of decided to start making like raggedy dolls, like Breezy and other stuff to help me use up the fabrics and still buying more than I should.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, the textures are fun, which is exactly why I'm doing the raggedy dolls now for people who have sensory needs like me and find comfort in fabrics, because that's how I started the patches to be like a walkable or wearable sensory thing. And now I'm making stuff for people to have that same sensory needs.
Amazing. Because when we were both at the Pride Month market a couple of weeks ago, I think it was towards the end of the market, you had bought a bit of possum skin,
yes,
a bit of possum stuff from Sarah Jane Hall from her stall. And you talk to us about how that was for you.
It felt like a teddy bear, the texture. It was nice and soft. Something you wouldn't really expect from possum, because you expect it a bit more rough, but it was so soft. And the skin on the back was quite nice too. So yeah, it really felt like a teddy bear or very, very, very soft hair.
Yeah, because when you showed it to me and went, look at this, and I was like touching it, and for me, it felt like the top of it, the hairy part, it felt like I was touching a cloud. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So textures are very important for you.
Yep.
And so you've got your donuts, which are really kind of flat paintings. You've got fabrics, which are all sorts of different textures. But you also work with paper as well, don't you? You're getting into zines.
Yep, getting into zines.
So if people don't know what a zine is, do you want to let people know what it is?
So basically, zine is short for magazine or comes from magazine. And they're basically like mini booklets of different sizes, usually small, that people sell in short circulations. Yeah, and it can be of any topic you like, even fan art or fun facts and that.
And what sort of zines, like what subject matter are you doing with your zines?
So one of them was about autism. Surprise. I like talking about autism. Another one had drawings I've done of my original character Snorri. And then the final one was about just random facts I knew from when I was a kid and teenager.
And what sorts of things might have been in that particular zine?
Like how clownfishes can change their sex from male to female, as well as how there's a bone in your body called an atlas, which is located pretty much at the start of your spine below the skull. So named after the Greek titan Atlas, who
held the world.
Yeah, on his shoulders.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
Learned that as a kid.
Wow. That's amazing. And will you be making more zines moving forward?
I definitely need to make more zines. I need to do more autism ones. I'm nearly out of that one.
Yeah, right. And do you do them all by hand, or do you do the first one by hand and then photocopy?
First one by hand, then photocopy. It's just easier that way.
Yeah, well, quicker too,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not that perfect with my drawings or writing.
Yeah.
I can't replicate perfectly.
Yeah. But your donuts will always be perfect, right?
Yeah. Well, I do cheat a little.
Are you going to give us a trade secret, or are you going to keep it a secret?
Secret.
All right, done. Letitia Yates, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
I have loved really getting to meet you more, and I thank you for sharing part of your story with our audience.
You're welcome.
But don't go anywhere, because for being a guest on the show, we're going to give you this tiny pride bag. And in the bag, Letitia Yates, just for you, there are 2 badges in here. There is this one, which you can say it, I'm not saying it.
To make my cunt dry.
And then there's this one, a Lance TV one for you. I found it, it's old school. Yeah.
I love badges.
So that's
you.
for you. I'm also going to give you a volunteer handbook for the Festival of Australian Queer Theatre that's coming up.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a copy of the Pride Month, Ballarat Pride Month. It is a regular program of events. We're halfway through Pride Month.
Yay.
Come up to Ballarat and have a look.
Thank you. I lost my other one.
There you go. You only came on the show to get that. And last but not least, Letitia Yates, what you've been waiting for is this photo of me saying I was on Let's TV.
Thank you.
There you go. Any last words?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being had. We are going to go for a short break, and when we come back, we will be in the home stretch of Lance TV. See you after this. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Letitia Yates. If you would like some donut happiness, you can head over to Letitia's Instagram page, the_donut_therapist. Lance TV will be back right after this. There you go.
Get in.
Look, I tell you what, you know who has turned up in the thread?
Yeah?
Is Greg Gould is actually in the thread. And we've had Greg on the show twice now. And
Lucky.
Greg was here recently at Piano Bar doing I think it was a sing-along thing.
Ooh.
Was that right, Greg? I seem to remember something. Isabel Yates.
Hey, my sister.
Hey, Tish. We're all watching from home, loving it.
Thank you.
And it's the emoji with all the love hearts on it.
Thanks, sis.
Greg Gould, Lance TV Ballarat, always bringing the goods. Thank you, Greg. The show is only as good as the guests we have, and that means you. Karen, great work, Tish.
Thank you, Mum.
Deirdre, loved watching this. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Karen, thank you, Lance TV, and a little face with a lot of hearts. Tony Louise, Letitia swearing brings me so much joy. And there's a big laughter emoji going, there we go. Greg Gould, I was there Wednesday. He was at Piano Bar Wednesday doing the Freddie Mercury show.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Letitia is so wonderful, Greg. Letitia is so wonderful, and a big kiss. Yeah, I've really appreciated you sharing so much of yourself. You've been so open and raw and really honest in
Thank you.
in who you are and what you do and
Yep.
you know, your direction.
Yeah, aside from spiders.
Well, aside from spiders, but we don't need to talk about that, right? That's great. Amazing. Well, we are in the home stretch, so we've just got this little bit of Facebook to do.
Yep.
And then once we've done that, we've got all over the shop.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about a little special subject at the end.
Yep.
And that'll be the show.
Yep.
There you go.
Awesome.
I know. I don't know how much longer we've got. How much longer have we got in this section, Soph? Oh, yeah. And 5 seconds. All right. All right. That's right. It's Little Ants TV and it's time for All Over the Shop. On the 15th of June, Yassou is the Greek festival in Thomastown, and that starts at 8 o'clock, goes that whole weekend of the 15th and 16th of June in Thomastown. Outburst Pride Party at the Station Cafe Restaurant Bar in Maryborough on the 21st of June, that starts at 7 o'clock. Rainbow Coffee's Portraits, that is at Sebastopol Library. It is an exhibition of photos taken by our very own Cheryl Jlossi. Also on the 22nd is the Medieval Winter Fire Festival at the Bruthen Mechanics Hall over there near Bairnsdale. And on the 27th of June, Engaging with Council's panel discussion. And that'll be at the brand new, very swish Ballarat Library. The election is coming up very soon in Ballarat. Also on the 27th of June, Ballarat Creatives catch up at Radius Art over there at Hepburn Springs from 10 till midday. On the 30th of June, Pride Month brunch at Shepparton Art Museum. If you're watching us from Shepparton, hello to everybody watching us. Also on the 30th of June is the Canine First Aid and CPR course at Epping in Victoria. I don't know much about it, but it looked very interesting. In Ballarat, at the Ballarat Civic Hall on the 4th of July, is Working 9 to 5. That's right, Block Ballarat Light Opera Company is bringing us 9 to 5. And on the 6th of July, from 2 till 5, is the Ballarat Spoken Word with featured artist Evelyn Hartog, and that's at the TBH Studios in the mall. The Australian Chocolate Festival by Bear to Bar Makers is on the 7th of July. That's at the Abbotsford Convent in Collingwood. The 16th of August from 9 till 5, 3 days later, is the Ballarat Writers Festival at the Capitol Theatre in Bendigo. 14th of November, Bacchus Marsh Strawberry and Cherry Festival. That's at the Main Street Bacchus Marsh, and we know that Bacchus Marsh is the food bowl of Victoria. And for those who like to save the date, on the 19th of January is Midsummer Carnival 2025. It is a free event and in its home at the Alexandra Gardens in Melbourne City. Welcome back to Lance TV. Now, there's been a bit of a thread happening, and we've been reading it out through Facebook, but there's one message that has come up while we were watching that, and it's from a person called Hollywood. And it goes like this: Letitia, I don't know if I have the words to do justice for how crazy proud I am of you. I am so grateful to call you my friend. Love you. P.S. Which way does the barcode go? What's that all about?
So before the show, thank you, Holly, for the words. We were just talking about how I have my shirt and I look better with diagonal instead of vertical stripes, and Holly said the stripes vertical are like barcodes.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, well, some got diagonal too. And I had chocolate and a soft drink bottle to showcase that.
So if I actually got my reader out and went beep, it'd come up one Letitia Yates.
No.
No. No, not at
There's
all.
no barcodes on here.
No, okay. No. But I tell you what is on there. You are wearing a lanyard with sunflowers on it. What's that all about?
So the sunflower yarn lanyard is part of the Hidden Disability Scheme, which started in England and then started to go across the globe. So the Sunflower Hidden Disability Scheme, or this Hidden Disability Sunflower Scheme, one of those two, is basically if you have a sunflower lanyard, wristband, or a pin, and you go to somewhere like an airport, train station, a shopping center that recognizes the sunflower scheme, there will be and staff can see if you need some extra support. If you need that extra support, like for example, if you need support getting to the airport, getting onto your plane or that, the staff can help you there. Otherwise, if you go to Stockland, for example, because I know they recognize the sunflower scheme recently, one of the staff members there can support you if you need it, like if you're having a meltdown, which does happen with me. They can help support you, calm you down, and try to help you the best they can.
Amazing. And is there do you know if there's a special kind of Sunflower Awareness Day in the year, or is it?
No. I do know next month is Disability Pride Month, but I'm not sure if that's fully recognized in Australia yet. And I know autism has April for Autism Acceptance Month.
Amazing. So do you know, for next month with Disability Awareness Month or week?
Disability Pride Month or week.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure if it's fully recognized yet.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be doing something at TBH?
Not sure. I know we're going to Zimbabwe for a zine market, but that's unrelated. But I'll definitely get more autism zines out.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that, because I actually didn't know anything about the sunflower and what that represented.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because I understand. I think because there's a disability pride flag as well, isn't there?
Yes.
And I think is it gold, which probably now makes sense to some. I think gold is for unseen disability.
I know gold. I don't have the picture in front of me and what it represents, but I know. But the gold infinity symbol represents autism. Yeah. Well, there's also a rainbow infinity symbol that represents neurodivergent disabilities in general. So that includes autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and even some mental illnesses like PTSD, OCD, and that. And some people sometimes refer to that as acquired neurodivergent because it alters your brain. So neurodivergent basically means your brain works a bit differently to the more typical brain. Typical.
Yeah. Exactly. Typical, normal.
Yeah.
Amazing. Letitia, thank you so much. We have reached the end of the show.
Yep.
You are a wealth of knowledge. I really have learned a lot from you tonight about not only just about you, but about disability, about autism spectrum disorder, and just disability in general. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We will be back again next week. As I said at the top of the show, we will be having Dr. Catherine, whose last name's not coming to me, but we will have Barrett, there it is, Dr. Catherine Barrett on the show next week. If you'd like to be in the studio audience, check out the Lance TV website, www.lancetv.com, about midday tomorrow if you want to buy tickets. Until then, we will see you, and in the meantime, please be kind to one another. See you then.
Thanks for watching Lance TV. We'll be back same time next week. Lance TV is made possible through funding from the Community Broadcasting Foundation. I'm voiceover guy Randall Smith. See you next time.